the top 10 wide receivers in football. Now, John, you've been working on your list for a while now. Let me hear that list of yours.
So my
10
list,
to 1.
10 to 1.
We was uncomfortable on that play. He was locked the fuck in.
Number 10, Mike Evans. Number
Too
9,
much respect.
Malik Neighbors. Number 8, Tyreek Hill. Number 7, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 6, Nico Collins. Number 5, Puka Nacua. Number 4, AJ Brown. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb. 2, Jamar Chase. Number 1 was Justin Jefferson.
I think
like his list.
I think we all have the same top 6.
We
Am I
don't.
correct?
Top 7, top 6.
We don't.
It should
yes,
be the
yes,
same
yes.
top 6.
Yes.
I mean, it depends. It depends on where you got slot Tyreek Hill. I think that's the wild card in it. You know, my list, number 10, I got Terry McLaurin coming off an all-pro season, double-digit
You did not have him
touchdowns.
at 10.
The most
I see how you
reliable,
tried to lie just
one
now.
of the
No,
most
he's not
reliable
number
receivers in the NFL. Terry McLaurin is number 10 for me. Number
13
9
tutties last year, Dels.
is Mike
Is he really
Evans.
Yes,
Mike Evans is number 9. He was very
you had his
productive.
rookies on it. That's what it was.
Mike Evans, the most reliable receiver in NFL
Look
history.
at me dead in the face and say Mike Evans and Terry McLaurin are better than Brian Thomas Jr.
Mike Evans, one game to win it all. Give me Mike Evans.
Stop.
It's a
Give me
good
Mike
thing
Evans.
it's 17
Give
games
me
in
Mike
the
Evans.
season.
You know, I think the thing is, I'm very fond of the rookies. I think the rookies have a lot of potential and they showcase and flash all pro potential. The reason I didn't have rookies is because I wanted to give the vets some shine, players who've been doing it for multiple seasons. But also between Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, and Ladd McConkey, you look at all the advanced metrics. You look at the success rates against man, zone, and press coverage. Ladd McConkey had them beat in all of those.
And you still wouldn't take Ladd over neither one of them.
The Ladd McConkey, I mean, I think it's a legitimate argument. I think Brian Thomas Jr. has more potential. I've said on record that I think he will be the best wide receiver in this class. Malik Neighbors is just an athletic freak who's just a bolt of lightning, but his route running could be refined. Between Ladd and Malik's route running, I think Ladd right now is a better route runner than him. And then the other honorable mentions I had, because I think there are legitimately 10 wide receivers that with a great year can rank with the 7th to 10th range. Like, I think they're top 10 caliber receivers. BTJ, Neighbors, Ladd, Drake London, Garrett Wilson. I also had Smitty, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore. I think that these guys are very good, and that list like goes on to 20, which is impressive, and it just showcases how much receiver talent is in the league right now. Mike Evans is number 8.
I don't hate those names.
Number 8 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just think multiple-time All-Pro. You always know he's going to produce, but the guys I had ahead of him are not only outproduced him this past season, but I think that also maybe they had seasons where they outproduced them, or I still believe in their talents and the way they make defensive play callers change the game plan up. So 7 is Nico Collins. Playing on the outside, 6'4", runs a 4.4, can run any route on a route tree, has insane hands. I just think he's much more talented than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 6 is Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill, his production has dipped, but it is mainly because the Dolphins went from an explosive big play offense to a dink and dunk offense and still were successful. But Tyreek Hill, with the way that defenses game plan for him, you see that defense coordinators still have the utmost respect for Tyreek like he is an elite guy. So although the numbers may not back that, the 2 years before this past season, he did put up elite production. And this past season, the way that defenses covered the Dolphins offense, you would still think that he was putting up that same type of production because the respect factor that defenses have for him. Number 5 is CeeDee Lamb. Number 4 is Puka Nacua. Number 3 is AJ Brown. Number 2, Jamar Chase. And number 1, I still have Justin Jefferson, although Jamar Chase won't triple crown.
What you got, Riv?
I don't hate the Reek placement. I really don't. I respected Reek for the most part in my list. I didn't put no rookies over him because I feel like Reek is a different tier than the other guys that you mentioned where I wouldn't put a rookie over him. Like, Reek, you got to show me that you can't do it no more. But for me, number 10, I got Amon-Ra. I just think he's probably the least physically imposing guy in my top 10. You know, he's a little bit shorter than these guys. A little less explosive, but he can do every route in the intermediate route tree. Like, he's really surgical in that department. Number 9 is Malik Neighbors. Number 8 is BTJ. Like Dow's, I'm just super, super high on what these guys can do. I think their ability is unmatched. These are 2 young rookies that came into the league and pretty much did whatever they wanted to do. Number 7 is where I have Tyreek. Number 6 is Puka for me. Number 5 is Nico. I just think Nico is a much more physically imposing guy than Puka. Can also make every route in the tree. Deep threat, short, whatever you want to do with hands is ridiculous. Number 4, I have CeeDee Lamb. Number 3, I have AJ Brown. The difference for me with them two is physicality. The way AJ Brown can just get off the line. He can do it in the slot, on the outside. He can do it really any way. He's just more dominant to me. Number 2, Jamar Chase. And then, of course, the King, Jet, is at 1.
I have a similar list to yours, right? I think we might have the same 10 players, just in a different order. I respect you guys for putting Tyreek in your top 6, top 5. I had him at 10. Looking back, could be a little bit low. Could be a little bit low. Like I said, when we talk about the Dolphins, Tyreek hasn't shown me any reason to think that he's fallen off. But I also look at just, he's 31 years old at this point. When I look at all of these receivers over him are just right in the beginning, really, outside maybe AJ, of their prime and just starting to enter their prime. So I look forward to this season. It's like, who do I trust more, Tyreek Hill or some of these guys? I'm not mad you're taking Tyreek. I just had a few names over him. 9, Amon-Ra. I think the 8 guys above him. I think when it comes to who do you trust the most, Amon-Ra might be number 1, just in terms of hands. He plays through every injury. I also think, no discredit to him, he's in a situation where he is built to succeed, and he has taken that by the horns. I also think the 8 guys in front of him would be able to do just as good of a job. Where I have 8 Malik Neighbors, 7 Brian Thomas Jr. I think they're close. I think Brian Thomas is just a more complete receiver at this time. 6 Nico, 5 Puka. Again, those two are super, super close to me. I think Puka has just shown when he's been able to stay on the field, he's been one of the most productive receivers in the NFL, period. Just being able to stay healthy, even going back to college. CeeDee and AJ Brown, 4 and 3. Chase and Jettis. If really all of these, 1, 2, it's the tiebreaker, because I feel like Jettis and Chase feel like they're in a tier of their own.
Yep.
I feel like AJ and CeeDee a tier of their own. Puka and Nico a tier of their own. Like, they're all close to each other, but I all feel like those groups of 2 belong on top of each other for the top 6.
I'd argue it's probably for me like Jet and Chase, and then like tier 2 is like AJ, CeeDee, Puka, Nico, Reek for me. Like, I would have those 5.
We're sleeping on Amon-Ra because he belongs in that category.
I think he's in tier 3. I just don't think he's as good as those guys. And that's like, with all due respect to Amon-Ra, I think he's a great player.
Okay.
I think there's a slight difference between him and guys like Nico Collins. Like maybe I'm tripping a little bit too much with Puka and Nico, but I feel like I'm not. But I feel like AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, I think they're a tier above Amon-Ra.
Before Nico got hurt last year, the first 5 games were
He
absolutely insane.
was the best receiver.
I would say that Amon-Ra St. Brown is firmly in the same tier as Tyreek Hill at this point in time. You want to have Tyreek above him, I understand that. But that being
What
said,
makes you say
Amon-Ra St. Brown, year by year, and you make a great point with Ben Johnson's offense, just how much they're able to maximize their weapons with Ben Johnson gone. Maybe Amon-Ra does see a efficiency hit per se. But there's something to be said for a receiver that's as dominant as he's been in the slot. He may not be as versatile as a guy like Puka Nacua necessarily, and that's why I do have Puka slightly above him. But in what he does at such an elite level, I feel that, especially looking at the production, it's really hard for me to have him anywhere lower than 7.
I have Puka so high because I know, Puka was top 3 in yards per route run. He was number 1 in that stat. And then in terms of receiving yards per game, he ranked in the top 3 when he's healthy, because when he was on pace to shatter his rookie record and surpass that production, but it's just those injuries caught up to him. But Amon-Ra is an awesome player. I got no disrespect towards him. I'm just interested in how you guys have Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors in your top 10 stamped, but there's no lad.
Wait, they're not stamped?
They're in your top 10, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say stamped. Like, they can move out. Like, I feel like we just said maybe 5 minutes ago that only the first 7 are, like, locked.
Because I think, after the rookie year, you're willing to put them over guys who have produced for a longer period of time.
Well, Malik Neighbors did it with, I don't even remember.
Both of them.
Right. Malik Neighbors did it with the worst quarterback play. He also did it on like 180 targets.
Well, I would assume he
because they
has
had
to
a
get
pepper
that.
underneath in his defense.
Yeah, I know, but
he's getting no deep shots. He's getting no accurate quarterback play.
I agree. They should 100 receptions. I think 1,200 yards. He was amazing. Brian Thomas Jr. I legitimately think that if Trevor Lawrence was more accurate on some of his deep passes, he could have finished with like maybe 1,400. He was that good.
Yeah.
I just look at Ladd McConkey, and I think Ladd McConkey was just as good as all those guys. He averaged 6.8 targets per game, which is on par with Devontae Smith, who Devontae Smith is you could say the third offensive option in the Eagles offense. Ladd McConkey, that's how much he got targeted per game, the same as the third option on an offense, and he still was efficient. He had a 180-yard playoff game. So, like, I just think he's shown a lot of highs, and I think Malik Neighbors.
Did go turbo in that game.
It's nothing I can do about
You
that.
can't say Quinyon Ring and then he could bring up Ladd's playoff.
No,
game.
I was fucked there because I can't bring up nothing for the other two in the playoffs. So
And
like,
I
have nothing
think,
to
you
say.
know, with Malik, the difference between him and BTJ, I understand, because BTJ is like 6'4". He has those physical tools over him. Malik is more compact than Ladd. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. Ladd is 6 foot, 185. So those 15 pounds of muscles, you could definitely notice it with Malik and Ladd. But in terms of their height, they're similar. I think Malik is a more explosive player. There's no doubt. But Ladd is also an elite level athlete who I think right now is a better route runner. So, like, do you think, is Ladd just outside your top 10?
He would have been top 12 for me. I probably would have had Garrett and Ladd in my, round out my top 12. You can make the argument for it. I think the only thing stopping me, I don't think it's even a knock on Ladd. It's just, he did it for half a season. I think Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors really from week 1. I mean, week 2, Brian Thomas had 95 yards. They showed throughout the whole season on top of having terrible quarterback play. I think these guys are always going to be grouped together. Yeah. But the explosiveness you have seen so far with Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors puts them slightly ahead of Ladd to me.
I felt like 9 to 13, 14 was clustered, where my first honorable mentions were Drake London and BTJ. And on a year-by-year basis, I'm sure the opinions and the perception of each player will slightly sway. That being said, Malik Neighbors was the one I did at my top 10. I feel like that's the guy that I'm most confident in long-term. There's a little bit of projection baked into that. I won't lie to you. But I felt like with BTJ, you are right to assume that him and Malik Neighbors are going to be, for the rest of their careers, probably tightly connected the same way that some of those guys in the 2021 wide receiver class were.
Hopefully Marv can get back in this combo, man. Hopefully, at least, the outside looking in. Because right now he's
I think I'll probably have Ladd, probably like.
Still the first quarter, Dell. Still the first
for
quarter.
sure.
Probably like 13, 12.
So let me ask God this, because I think it's the most interesting debate within the top 10 and the player who's just outside the top 10. Well, he is in all your top 10s, but he's in outside of my top 10. Even though I wish I could put multiple players in my top 10, but some guys got to get left out.
Only 10 spots.
So, yes, you're right. So you have to be very selective. And if there was one year I got to show respect to Terry McLaurin, it's this goddamn year. Because you never shown respect to Terry.
Is he going to lace him up this year? I mean, he's in this contract thing. He's talking about holding in, holding out.
Come to Philly.